والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. واللعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. القول مني في جميع الأشياء قول آل محمد، فيما أسروا وما أعلنوا، وفيما بلغني عنهم وفيما لم يبلغني. أما بعد، فقد قال الله العظيم في محكم كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. Usually when speaking about the Imam of our time, Imam al-Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu al-Sharif, the first topics to be brought up, the things that are usually discussed, are the companions of the Imam. What are the characteristics of the companions, the 313, the signs of the reappearance of the Imam, and so on and so forth. But what very rarely is spoken about is the enemies of Imam al-Mahdi. That when the Imam appears, as is with all the other Imams, they will have enemies. As is with the path of truth, there will always be the path of falsehood wherever you go. So who are the enemies of Imam al-Mahdi? And more than that, and a more important point, why would anyone have an enmity towards Imam al-Mahdi? What is the reason behind this? At the end of the day, we agree that Imam al-Mahdi is the one who will bring the justice, is the one who will establish the government of Allah and will fulfill the message of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. He is the one that will bring peace onto this earth. He is the one that will bring justice. No one will be oppressed in this government. So why would anyone have a problem with this? Why would anyone have an enmity or become an enemy of the Imam? So this is what we will discuss, inshallah. Starting with the enemies of the Imam. Who are they? When you want to categorize them, they come into two different categories, very simply. The first category are what are known as the outside enemies. Those who are publicly against the Imam, and from the beginning they are against the Imam. And the prime example are those who are known as Al-Nawasib. Nawasib meaning those who publicly and straightforwardly say that we are enemies of the Imam. And these people started even from the time of the Holy Prophet and the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. We see the Nawasib were the Khawarij, those who fought and battled Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. Ibn Muljim is someone who was of those Nawasib that had hate towards the Ahl al-Bayt, that had hate towards Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. And these people, they see it as they are gaining closeness to Allah by having the hate towards Ahl al-Bayt. And your prime example is Imam Hussein alayhi salam. When he tells the army of Umar ibn Sa'd, when he tells them, why do you fight me? What do they say? بُغْضًا لِأَبِيكَ. Out of hate of your father, we are fighting you and we are here to kill you. 30,000 people يَتَقَرَّبُونَ إِلَى اللَّهِ بِدَمِهِ. They think that they are seeking closeness to Allah through the bloodshed of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. These are Nawasib. And during the time of Imam al-Mahdi, you will have these outside enemies. And then you have the second category, you have the inside enemies. Those who claim to be Shia, those who claim to be Muslim, they will be of the enemies of Imam al-Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu al-Sharif. People who during the time of occultation of the Imam were believers, were mu'mineen. But when the Imam appears, they turn. And the hadith we have by Imam As-Sadiq alayhi salam explains this beautifully. He says, Imam As-Sadiq, إِذَا خَرَجَ, and he says the word describing the Imam where you have to stand up. But I'll say this. إِذَا خَرَجَ, and he talks about Imam al-Mahdi, خَرَجَ مِنْ هَذَا الْأَمْرِ مَنْ كَانَ يَرَى أَنَّهُ مِنْ أَهْلِهِ وَدَخَلَ فِيهِ شُبْهُ عَبَدَةِ الشَّمْسِ وَالْقَمَرِ. He says when the Imam appears, those who thought they were of the line of the Imam, those who thought they were Shia, those who thought they were believers, when the Imam appears, they will turn. And those that were thought to be worshippers or pagans, worshippers of the sun and the moon, when the Imam appears, when they hear the message of the Imam, they will repent and they will change and they will join the Imam. It shows us the change of circumstance. That those who thought they were believers, they change into disbelievers. But enemies of the Imam, people who try to kill the Imam. But those who were seen as disbelievers, as pagans, as kuffar, however you want to say them, when they see the message of Imam al-Mahdi, they will join the Imam. Some of this and some of that. So from that hadith, we understand that there are many people who believe now, and they say that they believe, and they say that we are waiting for the Imam, and they attend majalis, and they attend the Hussaineyat, and they pray, and they fast, and their akhlaq is well, their mannerisms are good, and they're religious, and they give charity. But when the Imam appears, they turn against the Imam. They fight the Imam. These are the people that you should be worried about. But why? There's the question. Those who were believers, firm believers of the Imam, and during the ghaibah they pray for the reappearance of the Imam, but when the Imam appears they change. Why? What made them change? You have two reasons. And within those two reasons are two different types of people. And the reason why I chose the enemies of Imam al-Mahdi, because it benefits us to make sure that we don't become of these people. That we don't associate with these people and the attributes of these people. You have two different types of people. Starting with number one. Those who are ignorant. But not the simple ignorance. You have simple ignorance. Someone doesn't know. Someone doesn't know. He's lived his life. He's a simpleton. He doesn't know. But then you have those, I call them the ignorant by the power of three. Meaning what? They are ignorant. And they do not know that they are ignorant. And they think they are smart. That's ignorance by the power of three. They're ignorant. They do not know that they're ignorant. And they pretend like they're smart. They think they are smart. They think they know it all. Those are more of a problem than the simple ignorance. Because if someone is ignorant in a simple way, he will know that he's ignorant. He will say, I don't know. But those who are ignorant but say, I know everything. I understand everything. Those are the worry. But how does this equate to Imam al-Mahdi ajjallahu ta'ala farajahu al-sharif? Because when the Imam appears, they think they know better than the Imam. We have a hadith عن الفضيل بن يسار سمعت أبا عبد الله إمام الصادق عليه السلام قال إن, and he mentions the Imam, إذا قام استقبل من جهل الناس أشد مما استقبله رسول الله من جهال الجاهلية. That when the Imam appears, he will receive from the ignorance of the people more than the Holy Prophet himself received from the ignorance of the people of the times of Jahiliyyah. Imam al-Mahdi will receive and will be in a battle with these ignorant people more than the Prophet was in battle with the ignorance of the Jahiliyyah. Fudayl ibn Yasar asks the Imam again. He says, وَكَيْفَ ذَلِكَ? The Imam answers. He says, إِنَّ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ أَتَى النَّاسِ وَهُمْ يَعْبُدُونَ الْحِجَارَةِ وَالصُّخُورِ وَالْعِيدَانِ وَإِنْ قَامَ, and he mentions the Imam, أَتَى النَّاسُ وَكُلُّهُمْ يَتَأَوَّلُ عَلَيْهِ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَيَحْتَجُّ عَلَيْهِ بِهِ. He says the Holy Prophet Muhammad, when he came to the ignorant of his people, they were worshipping stones and sticks and clay. And we all know the famous story of that person, the second, where he says that one time I laughed, one time I cried. The time that I laughed is we were praying to a God made out of dates because we were hungry. And then when everyone left, I ate a bit of my God. Simpletons. They worship the stone and the straws and so on and so forth. But those ignorant of the time of Imam al-Mahdi, what does the Imam says? He says, يَتَأَوَّلُ عَلَيْهِ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ. He will try to tell the Imam how to understand the Quran. He will try to tell the Imam how things work. He will try to tell the Imam, no, you're wrong. This isn't how it works. No, the Quran says this. Someone else says this. You're wrong. There are things when the Imam, we have to understand something. That the Imam has the ability to change the rulings by which you live. That is from Allah Azza wa Jal. For example, and this is a pretty far-fetched example, but for example, let's say the Imam comes and he says that the prayer of Subh is now 4 rak'at, not 2. For example, this is purely an example. Can the Imam do that? Yes. Yes. He has that ability from Allah Azza wa Jal. Obviously, from who? From Allah. You have in the Quran, what did Musa say to Bani Israel after a long story? What did he say? Kill yourselves. اقتلوا أنفسكم ذلك خير لكم. Musa tells them, kill yourselves. And that's a different long story. But the meaning is that the Imam has this ability from Allah. So who are you to come and question the Imam? Those are the Juhal. يَتَأَوَّلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْإِمَامِ. So they try to tell the Imam how to understand the book of Allah. And what does the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa say? إِنِّي تَارِكٌ فِيكُمْ مَا إِن تَمَسَّكْتُمْ بِهِمَا لَن تَضِلُّوا بَعْدِي أَبَدًا كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَعِتْرَةِ أَهْلِ بَيْتِي. That I have left behind two things. As long as you hold on to them, you will never go astray. And they will never separate from each other. These two things will never separate. Kitab Allah wa itrati. But then the Imam says when Imam al-Mahdi appears, they will try to tell the Imam how to understand the Quran. Those are the ignorant by the power of 3. Those who think they know it all. And every time the Imam makes a command, they want to question it. And there will go a time during the Imam's reappearance where they will not believe what the Imam does. And they will, at some time, they will start questioning if even that's the Imam. And we have in a long hadith, but I'll mention this part. He says, يحدثهم بحديث لا يحتملونه فيخرجون عليه. He will say something to them. He will tell them something. What is that thing? Allahu A'lam. But he will say something that they will not be able to handle. فَيَخْرُجُونَ عَلَيْهِ. They will go against the Imam. But if they had a true understanding who the Imam is, this is from the very beginning, their aqidah was weak in that essence. That the Imam is the representative of Allah. Your direct link to Allah is this Imam. Whatever he does is from Allah Azza wa Jal. But they do not have that taslim to the Imam. They want to rely on other people to give them their knowledge. They want to listen to other people to give them their religion. And you see this today, unfortunately. You have the words of Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. But you want to go and listen to someone from a different religion. You want to listen to some Buddhist person when he speaks about religion and you like the way he talks, so you share that video of his. You listen to a Christian priest and you like his points that he's making, so you share his video. What happened to the words of Ahlul Bayt? Nothing that they say, even if it's correct, Ahlul Bayt have not already said. But the problem is we like to take our knowledge from anyone other than Ahlul Bayt. We take it from philosophy, we take it from this, we take it from that. But we want to take from Ahlul Bayt, we don't take. And the moment we try to take from Ahlul Bayt, we start questioning everything. The chain of narration, did the Imam really say this? This isn't what the Imam meant. Part of your faith is to take only from the Imam. The only people who have that link with Allah Azza wa Jal is the Imam. You have in a narration by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, he says, أتدرون من المتمسك بالقرآن الذي يتمسكه ينال هذا الشرف العظيم. He says, do you know who are these people that hold on to the Quran, that receive such a high status? And the Holy Prophet says, هو الذي أخذ القرآن وتأويله عنا أهل البيت. Those who truly hold on to the Quran are those who take the Quran and the explanation of that Quran from us Ahlul Bayt. You look at the Quran, what did we say? لن يفترقا. The Ahlul Bayt and the Quran will not separate. These two things will never separate. So who's the best person that can translate and explain for us the Quran? When you think off the top of your head. The first person is the one that never separated from the Quran. The first person is the one that is the walking and talking Quran. But you want to come and you want to translate the Quran on your own accord? This is why when the Imam appears, what did the hadith say? They try to tell the Imam how to understand the Quran. Because from the beginning they didn't get the understanding of the Quran from Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam says, لو أنا حدثنا برأينا ضللنا. This is the Imam saying it himself. Everyone wants to make on their own opinions. Everyone wants to translate the religion on their own opinion. Everyone wants to take from the religion based off what they know and what they want to understand. The Imam says that we do not even take the religion from our opinion. And then the Imam says, كما ظل من كان قبلنا ولكن حدثنا ببينة من ربنا بينها لدينا قبلها رسول الله. The Imam says that we are speaking not from our own accord, not from our own opinion, but we are speaking directly from what Allah has given us. Directly from what Allah has given our Prophet and what the Prophet has given us. We have the famous hadith that Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam says that the Prophet taught me 100 or 1,000, I think, doors of knowledge. Each door opens up 1,000 doors. This is something that is with the Ahlul Bayt. So who are you to come and translate the religion on your own opinion and on your own accord? Those are the people that will have the enmity towards Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. And then we have the second type of people. Those who are Shia, who are believers, but they use the religion to benefit themselves. These people now who use the religion to benefit themselves, when the Imam appears, they will be of the first who, what? They will be enemies of the Imam. They will stand against the Imam of our time. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam, when he puts the Shia in categories, of the categories he says, and he speaks about it, he says, الَّذِينَ يَنْتَظِرُونَ وَيَسْتَأْكِلُونَ بِنَا أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ. Those who are Shia by name, And they wait for us and they wait for the Imam. But they feed off of Ahlul Bayt. They benefit off of Ahlul Bayt. Benefit off of the religion. They are only religious as long as it benefits them and they are getting something out of it. And we have in another hadith by Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he says, فَمَا أَكْثَرُ مَنْ يَعْجِزَهُ تَنَاوُلَ الدُّنْيَا وَرُكُوبَ الْحَرَامِ مِنْهَا لِضَعْفِ نِيَّتِهِ وَمَهَانَتِهِ وَجُبْنِ قَلْبِهِ. He says there are some people who they want to do haram, but because of their cowardice, because they don't fear Allah, they fear what everyone else has to say. And I spoke on this in a previous lecture. One of the types of religiousness, the outside type of religiousness. As long as my mum and dad see me praying, as long as the society sees me praying, that's why I'm praying. But if I was by myself, I would never pray. I would never gain closeness to Allah, but I just care about what people say. There are some people that don't do haram because they are cowards. They have no proper means by doing haram. But then what does the Imam say? And then he says, فنصب الدين فخا لها فهو لا يزال يختل الناس بظاهره فإن تمكن من حرام اقتحمه. He says, so what does he do? He plants religiousness as a trap. Everyone sees him as religious and everyone thinks that he is religious. But the moment the opportunity for sin comes through that religiousness, through him pretending to be religious, he takes that advantage. And unfortunately, this category of people are those who go on the pulpit, those who try to lead the people religiously. Unfortunately, some of those, they benefit from the religion. They take from the religion. They feed off of the religion. They feed off of Ahlul Bayt. In the name of Ahlul Bayt, they steal. In the name of Ahlul Bayt, they do ghiba. In the name of Ahlul Bayt, they do all types of haram. These are the ones that will stand against the Imam of our time when he reappears. And nothing is more beautiful than the words of Imam Hussein alayhi salam when he says, الناس عبيد الدنيا والدين لعق على ألسنتهم. He says the people are the slaves of the dunya. And religion is nothing but a movement of the tongue. Nothing but a movement of the tongue. I'm religious, I pray, I fast, I do. Movement of the tongue. And then what does he say? يَحُوطُونَهُ مَا دَرَّتْ مَعَائِشُهُم. They will be around religion, they will be religious as long as their livelihood depends on it. As long as they're getting money from it, as long as they're benefiting from it, as long as they're getting a social status from it. فَإِذَا مُحِّصُوا بِالْبَلَاءِ قَلَّ الدَّيَانُونَ. But when it comes to the truth of the matter, when it comes for you to put your actions where your mouth is, to prove what you've been saying your whole life is true, قَلَّ الدَّيَانُونَ. Very little of these people are actually true to that path. Before the battle of Karbala, everyone loved Imam al-Hussein. Everyone loved Imam al-Hussein. Everyone respected and loved Imam al-Hussein. But when the battle of Karbala came, where they had to prove their love for Imam al-Hussein, what does that person say to Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam? He says, قُلُوبُهُمْ مَعَكَ وَلَكِنَّ سُيُوفُهُمْ عَلَيْكَ. Their hearts are with you, O Abu Abdullah, but their swords are against you. Their swords are what? Their swords are against you. And the same thing will happen to the Imam of our time. And this is in a hadith by Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam. This is a very scary hadith. Because this hadith, you have the people who are religious and they try to hold on to the faith, especially from the youth. When they come and they want to start being religious, they want to come back to the deen, they look at the religious people and they say, these people are good. But when it comes to the truth of it, you'll find very little of those people that act religious are actually religious. But then you have some of the youth, because they see that, and then they find out the truth about these people. That this whole time, this person acting religious, comes to the mosque, this person is worse than everyone. And then they leave religion because of that. No. Do not measure your religion by the men. Measure your religion by those who are of the religion, the representatives of the religion, which is Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. Don't see someone like me, I sit here, I do a lecture, I act all religious here, but then you see me in a bad place. Or when you speak to me, I have the worst of akhlaq, and then think this is religion. No. You have a lot of people, they use religion to benefit themselves. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam says, this is when the Imam appears. وَيَسِيرُ إِلَى الْكُوفَةِ فَيَخْرُجُ مِنْهَا 16,000 من البترية شاكين في السلاح قراء للقرآن فقهاء في الدين قد قرحوا جباههم وشمروا ثيابهم وعمهم النفاق وكلهم يقولون يا ابن فاطمة ارجع لا حاجة لنا بك. Imam al-Baqir says, when the Imam appears from Al-Kufa, 16,000 people. 16,000 people who are religious, who their foreheads have been etched from the sign of sujood. Those who read the Quran, those who are fuqaha, people who understand the religion. They will stand in front of the Imam of our time and they will say, Irja' ya ibn Fatima. Return, O son of Fatima, we do not need you. 16,000 of those who read the Quran, who are scholars or fuqaha in their own right. Their foreheads completely peeled. I don't know if they burn a potato and put it on their forehead to have that sign. Some of us do that. They will tell Imam al-Mahdi, Irja' ya ibn Fatima, we do not need you. Why would they tell the Imam this? Because they lived off of the Imam. So when the Imam appears and tries to put everything where it should be, what would they say? Return. Because before you were here, we were living life. We were doing good. We were using your name to get money, to get everything. But once you appeared, everyone's going to start knowing who we are. It's going to be a problem for us. Irja' ya ibn Fatima. And when they say ya ibn Fatima, it's evidence that they know this is the Imam. They're not saying Irja' ya ibn Fatima because he's not. No, they know this is the Imam of their time. But they say Irja' ya ibn Fatima because their desires, their benefits will go now that the Imam has reappeared. And this also comes to us. If you want to know that will you be of those who will tell Imam al-Mahdi to go back, or will you be of those that when the Imam appears, you are of the first lines of his Ansar? Whenever you come into a dilemma between your desire and between the religion of Allah, you come into a dilemma. For example, it's Saturday night. I have a dilemma here. I have either the Hussaineyat or the mosque, or Saturday night, there are many places that I could go to. Between your desire and between your faith, between your religion. If your answer or if your choice in this dilemma most of the time is your religion, if you prefer your religion most of the time, the reason why I say most of the time, because none of us 100% of the time is going to pick the religion over our desires. Sometimes we become weak in that regard and we sin. But at the end of the day, we can return to Allah Azza wa Jal. But if most of the time your dilemma, you choose the religion, then insha'Allah you will be of those that will stand with the Imam of your time. عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف. اللهم عجل وليك الفرج والعافية والنصر واجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه ومن شيعته ومحبيه وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات رحم الله من قرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة مع الصلوات.